say. I feel like I have gotten to experience 15 lives in the span of 27 years.
Okay.
And the past 2 years, it's really like the good outweighs the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy. And it just took me falling on my face and being mistreated and learning and growing and just keep going to really become who I am. I think resilience, I'm so thankful that I'm built this way.
Resilience is huge.
Resilience is huge and perspective is everything. The world is not
Everything.
happening to you. Sorry,
Mhm.
hate to say it.
So feel me when I bring it, sing it loud. I'm from the loot and I'm proud. Run a mile for the cause. I'm right.
Hi, guys. It's your girl Nahama, your favorite Jew from the Lou. Welcome back to my podcast. And today I am so excited to have Sydney Walker with me. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
This is going to be so great because honestly, it's so funny because I was just saying to you a second ago, like,
Yeah.
I've heard so many people who have started their business or influencers like online talking about how they met their friends through
Mm-hmm.
the gram.
Yeah.
And I was just so not active for so many years that I was like, okay, that's cute, I
Yep.
guess. But then that's exactly how we connected.
Am I your first social media bestie?
Yeah. Literally.
I really did, though. I was just so drawn to you. I could tell that you were passionate and authentic to your purpose and your calling. And there was just something that really pinged in me like, reach out to her. She's the one. So, yeah.
It means a lot because, like, you know how hard it is to put yourself
Yeah.
out there on social media,
Yeah.
even if you love what you do
Yeah.
and that is your purpose.
It's the hardest part of the job.
It just feels very unnatural, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're trying to be authentic and connect with others to talk to your phone. That feels like
Yeah.
the opposite of connection.
Mm-hmm.
So are you familiar with Babes in Business?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So Babes in Business changed my life
Oh,
because being part of that entrepreneur group, instead of just saying like, oh, my cousins, uncles, friends,
yeah.
sister is an entrepreneur, I'm in this room of entrepreneurs and they're women and they're
Mm-hmm.
local here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And some of them are like me where they're just getting started and leaving their corporate job and just, nervous but
Right.
excited. And some of them are like veterans, like 15, 20 years in, but yet social media is so new that that's almost like a new era for them.
Yep.
And so this group is so great because we can share and be vulnerable. And as women in business, we don't always feel like we have that.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
an amazing opportunity. But I learned on social media that people have two fears. One, nobody wants to be in front of the camera. And two, they wish they would have started documenting earlier.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I know.
So the fact that you felt drawn and wanted to connect with me because of that means a lot
Yeah,
because it was
I get it.
definitely something that didn't come naturally.
And it's challenging. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people think like, oh, being an influencer or whatever it is like how easy. It's so time consuming.
So,
There's a lot of ego work and imposter
hmm
syndrome that goes into it.
hmm
But it is just when it's not natural for you, it's like, how do I keep this like in alignment with my brand, but also impactful and purposeful?
Yeah,
So, but before we continue, when's the next Babes in Business?
this Thursday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I really want to go.
Okay.
That sounds so fun.
So I'll tell you, they have a coffee every month. It's only
Mm-hmm.
$20, I believe.
Nice.
And then if you're part of the membership, you could just buy a whole package for the whole year. But
Huh.
it's once a month. And generally, I think this year it's always going to be on Thursdays. They have the whole calendar for the year, so you can like look ahead
Yeah,
and see.
I've been seeing it, but now
Yeah.
that I know that you're there, I'm like, let's
I'll be
do
there
it.
every time because I'm the coffee sponsor.
That's amazing.
hmm
Good for you.
Thanks. You know what? Honestly, same thing as you. I got it because I DM'd them.
There you go.
I saw that they did
The magic of the
coffees.
gram.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
The worst that people can do is say no, but
Yeah.
I feel like you seem to be pretty good at putting yourself out there. How often do you get told no?
I think because I put myself out there so much,
Yeah,
it's like you get comfortable with rejection as misalignment and
yeah.
redirection. So maybe like 10 times I put myself out there and 3 times I'll get answers back. That's probably the ratio if I'm being
So they're
honest.
not responding, but they're not saying no.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Okay, fair.
That's different.
But silence is an answer as well
Not necessarily.
for now.
Not necessarily. It's an alignment thing. And I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
why. Because Instagram has this thing where unless you are part of that person's
Yeah.
chat, it's in requested. So
Yes.
if someone isn't always actively checking it, there's that. And depending on how big they are, they may have someone who's monitoring it for them.
I love that.
So it may not even be them that's rejecting you. It could just be their social media team isn't prioritizing the
Right.
DMs.
No, that's very true. But no, this last year, 2025, just with building my business and everything, I've heard this quote and it was doors open for those who are willing to knock. And that has
Oh.
just stuck with me so much over the
Hmm.
past year. And it really does. If you are bold enough and believe in what you're doing, knock, doors will open. The worst that they can say is no. And
I
like you're
got
saying, a lot of
chills.
it is timing. So
That gave me chills. And it made me a little emotional.
I love it. I love it.
I'm like, I'm
I'll be
feeling
here
all the
all day.
things. No, but let's go into you and your business and what you're building because there is a lot of depth of what you're doing and you're in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
So, maybe the first thing would be the yoga and Pilates that you teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually got certified during COVID. So I played soccer at St. Louis University. COVID hit. I was really into yoga, but never had the time to do the certification. So I
Mhm.
got my YTT, my yoga teacher training in 2020, passed right away and started teaching right away.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I've been teaching ever since. I've moved multiple times and just have taught yoga and found community through that and like-minded people. Um, and then just this past year, I started teaching Pilates, and I teach about 5 classes a week at True
Wow.
Fusion.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's so good though. It is the best studio. It's the best team. I absolutely love it there. So, yeah, those two formats are kind of my favorite thing to teach. Yoga taught me how to self regulate and how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think it's the number one skill that somebody could learn.
Yeah. I fell in love with yoga in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I I got into it because I had a really interesting experience. My personal trainer was one of those gym bros, okay?
Nice.
But then he got really like holistic and
Yeah.
woo-woo,
Yeah.
which is not something you usually expect in a typical gym bro.
Yeah.
He got really into yoga and like I'm forever grateful that he was my first trainer at the gym because he really had me focus on my breath
Yeah.
and also like form
Mm.
over strength.
Yeah.
And then also, he really encouraged me to do yoga as a foundation
Yeah.
for strength training at the gym. So, yoga with Adrian was my
Love
introduction.
yoga with Adrian.
It's
It's
great.
very it forces you to get off of autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And something in my classes that I taught, even just last week, is instead of when you're uncomfortable saying, how can I get out of this? It's how can I stay with myself through this? Because every
Mm-hmm.
time you stay and
Mm.
realize like you're actually in control and your mind is stronger than your body, you teach your nervous system that you can do hard things. So whenever you bail out, it's like that's too challenging for me. And you're teaching your whole nervous system and those neural pathways that like when it gets challenging, I quit. So yoga starts when the pose gets hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's true, though.
Yeah, it is.
And it
And
gets easier.
yeah, it does. It does every time because it's like training a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You're training your mind.
Yeah.
And the breath helps you get off of that autopilot that today's society really focuses on. It's like go, hustle, move, move. And then yoga's like, nah, sit with it.
Yeah.
So,
It's true. It's like being in that moment, being uncomfortable, and sometimes staying in a position for a long time.
yeah.
I struggled with that tremendously because my
Yeah.
brain is on the go. Like
Yeah.
I wanna move fast.
Yeah.
I wanna get through
I want to
like
sweat. I want to get in. I want to get out.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And so like when you would certain yoga classes are definitely more fast paced.
Hmm.
That's the beauty of yoga. There's so many different
Yeah.
styles. But it's like sometimes you're just sitting there in a position, depending on the yoga class, for like a good 2 to 5 minutes
Right.
and focusing on the breath, what comes up in your mind, can
Hmm.
how can we like bring more joy into this space? How can we like
Yes.
ease your face, add a little smile, add a
Yeah.
little rhythm? And I'm like, I'm trapped. I need to leave now. And that was
Hmm.
a really, you're right. And that will translate and take into your regular life as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Another thing that I say during my yoga classes is like whenever we're holding that lunge for the 2 minutes,
Hmm.
it's without something to focus on, your brain will get distracted by everything.
Yeah.
So stopping that spiral for anybody that has anxiety or the ADHD mind, the hustle bustle, who like really appreciates efficiency and breathing allows you to just like sit and be okay. But mentioned earlier your gym bro that got woo woo,
Mm-hmm.
and something that I do, I take a lot of pride in it, is I have spiritual intentions.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's your
Love that.
practice, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
We all come from different paths, but at the end of the day, it's very like intentional, and life lessons or advice or somatics. I like to incorporate my therapeutic techniques and approaches and just like lessons from my own experiences. But I feel like I balance the spirituality, but also the play. Like I wouldn't qualify myself as like woo woo. Like I'm cussing in class. I'm like, drop your ass down lower, girl. You know, we're
Mm-hmm.
laughing. I don't want there to be too much ego. I want it to
Yeah.
just be play and presence. So I take pride in the fact that my practice intersects right there.
Yeah. Where it's like the humanity behind the woo-woo, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like we're all just people. We've got flaws and mistakes,
Yes.
and we can admit that it's hard, and we can
Mm-hmm.
cuss a little if we want to add a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
Why not?
I try to take the modern yoga, but the best compliment that I can get is your practice really reminded me of Eastern yoga philosophy.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to be respectful and keep the roots, maintain what's real, and um, make it more accessible for people here.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about the retreat that you just
Yeah.
had? Was this your
Yes.
first retreat that you've done?
Um, it's the first one that I've actually put on by myself, but I've
Yeah.
worked retreats quite a bit.
Oh, very cool. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. I'm so
Yeah.
fascinated about that space.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So, I guess like context first as to how I got here. Yoga, Pilates, and then I'm currently in school to become a clinical mental health counselor. So,
Yes.
all things mental, physical health. And then my three pillars of it's kind of progressed throughout the years. As you can tell, I have a lot of ADHD and the entrepreneur brain. So, it's been molded and shaped throughout the years, but I have been focusing on athlete mental health and performance. So we do like
Mm-hmm.
yoga, breath work, all that kind of stuff that helps find flow state. And so that's like my perform pillar. The restore pillar is the retreats. And so I'm taking Reiki, I'm taking yoga, Pilates, and
Mm.
then I do like guided meditations and sound bath, and we do like how to pour back into self. So I do incorporate a lot of therapeutic techniques into the retreats now.
I love that.
And then I'm partnering with Kate Buer. She's the founder of Living Well STL.
Yeah.
She's the best. We are yin and yang, and we just really complement each other. So, and we care about the same things. You know, we really care about authenticity and alignment, and we speak the same language. So that's been fun. My other one is community or giving back. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm driven by that, always have connection and people. Like my legacy, I want people to feel seen, heard, and valued. So, however, I can use my skills to give back to my community and others is so important to me. And then obviously support. I do one on one counseling. So, it's great. Those are my pillars. I finally nailed it down.
Yeah, you did.
But going back to the retreat, um,
Can I just pause and say
yeah,
how impressed I am with you?
you're
Like,
nice to me.
the pillar thing is brilliant. As I'm listening to you, I'm like, gotta do this for like cafe.
Yeah,
I'm for like Jew from the Lou. And like, as I'm trying to connect all my brands, I'm so impressed with how intentional you are
you have to be.
and how you've organized your thought process because it's so, I think the thing is yes, you may have ADHD, but it is so hard for anyone with ADHD or not to be able to be so intentional about what your vision is and to articulate it
Yeah.
so clearly where it's clear for yourself and for others.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. That
Thank
organization is
you.
like next level.
I appreciate that. But I do want to like if anybody's out there, it's it took a year and a half for me to get here, you know,
Yeah.
of just like I was perfectionist brain of I don't know what to do, one foot in front of the other,
Yeah.
tripping, stumbling, and it's changed like multiple times. Now I finally feel like I have my pillar foundations, but
Mm-hmm.
if you are getting started or thinking about getting started, uh It's okay if it starts somewhere and then it changes. You don't have
Yeah,
to have it perfect. You just have to get momentum started,
totally.
right?
Mine changed for Le
Yeah,
Cafe
yeah.
because, like, in the beginning, Le Cafe, our mission statement was for those who enjoy the finer things.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like luxury and whatever.
Mm.
Yeah. And then I changed
Yeah.
it because I was like, here's the thing. That sounded so snobby to me. Think about it. Like,
Just didn't feel authentic to
it
you.
didn't feel authentic and it didn't feel like me. So
It does
it's,
not feel like you.
no, and I enjoy finer things
Mhm.
for sure. But I really wanted to create warmth and
Yeah.
community and a space where no matter who you are, you can let your guard down and just be. And I was like, wait a minute, that is what a cup of coffee is. It's
Yeah.
that moment where no matter the chaos, no matter what's going on in your life, it's that moment for you because you deserve it. So
Mm,
that's my mission.
I really
You
like
deserve
that.
it. No matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on in your life, you deserve those few moments for you.
I love that.
And especially if it's a hot cup of coffee or even a cold cup of coffee, kind of bringing back to the yoga space as well, it makes you pause.
Yeah.
It makes you be present in that moment
And enjoy.
and enjoy. And with coffee, what's cool is you can explore that even more. You can take it to go and it may be a quick moment of, you,
Bliss. Hmm.
but like you can also take the time to maybe get up a little earlier and take that time to really cultivate that cup of coffee that you want and make it your
I
experience.
love that.
So
That's
it's
super cute.
definitely ever evolving and changing. And know that the coffee space is so intimidating for a lot of people. So I wanted to show people what I've learned because
I
it's
like that.
so unnecessarily intimidating and it's held from a lot of the public. But more and more people are buying expensive espresso
Oh,
machines.
yeah.
They're buying premium coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, I can't recreate what I experienced at a cafe. Why? I have the tools. Why? I've watched the TikToks. I still don't get it. So that's what I want to come in and start doing more education and teaching people
Yes.
because you deserve it.
I love
It
that.
all comes together. But also, like, it's funny because my target audience in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's white women from like 20 to 40, because that's the stereotype for
Yep.
coffee. Those are the ones who are addicted. And I'm not saying it isn't for everyone. I'm just saying, according to data, that is who the coffee drinkers are,
Mm-hmm.
just straight up. But then I was like, no, no, it's for the coffee enthusiasts. And to steal the word from Bonnie, who is running the STL Coffee Fest, and the coffee curious.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So it's evolved and it's more inclusive,
It
and I
has
think it's
to.
better.
I feel like so going through your branding and stuff, I think that every single person should have intentionality, whether you're running a business or just how you operate. You
Mm-hmm.
need to have pillars of what's most important to me so that you can know how you behave and the decisions that you make are in alignment with your goals and with
Yeah.
who you are so that you can stay um, I don't know, intentional, but also maintain integrity with yourself.
Yes.
And so that's actually something that we did on this past retreat is making your authentic code. We worked through journal
Mm.
prompts and it was really, really interesting how we looked at like where do you spend your time? What do you spend your money on? Is this in alignment with like
Mm-hmm.
what you actually want or are you out of alignment?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but let's take a look, let's zoom out and reassess the situation. And if you're struggling, the water's murky, talk to me. I love helping people articulate and untangle the web.
Mm.
That's like my sweet spot.
There's a podcast that I think you would love. It's by Haley Hoffman. I want to say is her name.
Yeah,
I struggle with names, but I'm pretty
me
sure
too.
that's her name. And the podcast is called, I think it's called Great Conversations or Big Conversations. And she
Sounds
is the
familiar.
most adorable person ever. Her energy is phenomenal.
Oh.
But she had her latest podcast was how there is a direct correlation between your love life and your bank account.
There is. The
Hmm.
love money connection is so real.
And sometimes you can create love and money. Like you don't have trouble making money, let's say,
Hmm.
but it doesn't stay in your bank account, whether you're overspending or whatever it is. So this is exactly what your trip was about, wasn't
I'm
it?
like, wait, I want to talk more about this,
I
but I don't want
would
to get on a tangent.
we could talk more about this, honestly, because I'm a little obsessed with it right now.
It's fascinating.
It's so fascinating because
Hmm.
I realized in my life that's 100% true. My love life and my bank account are exactly reflections of each other at the moment.
So mine was lack scarcity mindset.
Hmm.
I was very frugal like 3 years ago, and I struggled to spend money on myself.
Really?
And
I never understood people like that.
well,
I'm like, girl, I am generous with you and me and everyone
and
else.
everyone
I
else.
could have like $5 in my account. My friend has a birthday, and I'm like, $200 on your birthday? Credit card swipe.
So generous.
So generous because I'm just like, it's fine. It'll come back to me.
Was it? For the most part? So then how's your love life?
Kind of sad. I saw this line recently that like got me in my gut. My heart was just like, maybe I was born to love, but not be loved. And I
Mm.
think that's something a lot of women can relate to, where it's like you're just givers
Mm-hmm.
and you love to give in relationships, but then there's a moment in the relationship where you take a step back and you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing for this relationship, but like, what am I receiving?
Mm-hmm.
Is it equal or is it anything?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a moment where you're just like, you know,
Does it feel really good to give?
it does.
What's your love language?
It's a great question because it's ever evolving.
Okay.
Um, I would say my two top ones at the moment are physical touch and time.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, it used to be gifts,
Mm-hmm.
but that's changed recently.
Okay.
I had a I had a work mom who we loved giving each other gifts. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily expensive ones, just thoughtful. Like
Yeah.
I was very good at giving thoughtful gifts. And then she got really busy with her life and slowly she would like cancel on lunch plans or cancel like when we were supposed to like hang out or whatever, or if we were supposed to have a talk. And then she would give me gifts. And then it felt like her gifts were a replacement for that time.
Yeah.
And it just didn't sit well with me. And then ever since that experience, I no longer appreciate gifts in that way.
Hmm.
Where it's like, it's, you see, it's interesting how love languages can change.
Yeah.
And I remember I said to her once, I was like, your presents don't replace your presence. So
I like that.
I think it's changed for me where it's like I've learned that, let's say, for example, a friend's birthday, I don't need to spend a lot of money on them in order to show that I love them.
Yeah.
I could just be with them. I
Mm-hmm.
could figure something out. So I
Yeah.
think that's been like a
It's more about the consideration, less the
correct.
item. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like gifts aren't that great if it's just the gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than the gift,
Yeah.
for sure. Hmm. Interesting.
I know.
I'm getting into therapy mode.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I locked in. I found flow state.
And I know, and I have to be careful too because as a podcast host, I'm like, I'm trying to be in your mood where I'm trying to like share your story and be all about you.
I am trained not to talk about myself.
And I love the limelight.
Lethal combo.
Literally. 'Cause I'm like, I want to make it about you. And it's easy for me to talk about myself, but this
Who
is
are
your
you
moment.
outside of giving?
Who am I outside of giving?
Like
I would
outside
see,
of being needed?
I don't need to be needed to give. Does that make sense?
Well, who are you outside of like being needed by others?
I'm a very joyful person.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Very magnetic, very welcoming.
Yeah, it's kind of like I think I would say where I'm at in life is a really beautiful space because this is true romantically, friendship wise. I just love life,
Mm-hmm.
truly. And I just want to experience all that I can out of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as women, like there's the traditional way about life, which is finding love, getting married, having a family, right? Which is something I would love to experience. But I was telling my mom the other day, I'm like, even if I don't do that, I'm still gonna have a freaking amazing life
Mm-hmm.
because I just love living. And there's so much to explore, and it just would be a different kind of life, but it could be better potentially, you know?
I feel that you have very high self-worth.
Yeah. My father loved me.
Yeah, that's nice.
You're like, what's
Must be
that
nice.
like? What's that like?
Dark humor is my love language.
It's okay. My dad died 3 months ago. I get that.
Cheers.
Yeah. To daddy issues.
That is why we are the way that we are.
Oh, it's so true. So true.
We're gonna get off to a tangent.
It's okay. It's girl talk.
It is girl talk.
It is girl
What
talk.
were we even talking about?
We were talking about your pillars and your retreats and how you got into them.
Good for you.
Thanks. ADD, that's my superpower.
I think that I like try to deflect attention off of me. I don't even realize that I do it.
Yeah.
I've always been like that
Okay, but
though.
here's the thing. You are such a fascinating person. You really are.
Thanks.
It's like you are so great at listening and giving and being intrigued by others.
Mm,
But at the same time, like you have to be someone of essence yourself in order to be able to do that. You can't pour from
yeah.
an empty cup,
No, for sure.
you know?
Took a while to get here. I used to be a
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Well, welcome to humanity.
Exactly.
So that's a great question right there. Why are you in the space that you're in right now? Because you're all about community and
How much
giving.
time you got?
I got time, girl. We got time. This is what the podcast is for.
I like overview answer is not the best upbringing, if I'm being honest. And I'm not like a woe is me, a victim mindset. That's not at all what I'm trying to say. But I had a very colorful, we'll say that, uh,
Love that.
upbringing.
Gotta remember that one.
Yeah. Very colorful upbringing, we'll say. I feel like I have gotten to experience 15 lives in the span of 27 years.
Okay.
And the past 2 years, it's really like the good outweighs the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy. And it just took me falling on my face and being mistreated and learning and growing and just keep going to really become who I am. I think resilience, I'm so thankful that I'm built this way.
Resilience is huge.
Resilience is huge and perspective is everything. The world is not
Everything.
happening to you. Sorry.
Hmm.
Hate to say it. And
I love it.
mental health is like overdiagnosed. Sorry. I'm gonna just say it.
Thank
It's
you.
weaponized, it's overused. I have anxiety, ADHD, I'm neurodivergent. I got, like
All the things.
all the things. But you know what?
You still show up and do the work.
You show up, you do the work, and it's harder for other people. I totally get that. And everyone has a different story. I totally get that too. But people meet me, they don't know my background.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
They don't. And I'm like, you got no idea. And people like to look at me and say, oh, a white, pretty blonde, privileged. And it's like, you have no idea. But you're just judging a book by its cover and
Yeah.
assuming that I had it easy. And that's okay. You can have your perception of me. Totally fine. But it's more about your resiliency and your perspective that helps you become who you're meant to be, you know? So I'm very, very thankful for the people that I've met
I don't know
along
why
the
I'm
way.
tearing up.
I don't know.
I'm so impressed with you.
Thank you. That's so nice. I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with my hands.
Like, why are you paying attention to me? Like,
No,
let's talk about
literally.
you. Tell me about your love life.
No, I am just like
Oh
so
my
thankful
gosh.
for the coaches and the friends and the support systems that I've had along the way. I feel like that was a big part of why I am the way that I am.
Yeah.
I still remember one of my coaches being like, you have to believe in yourself and the rest will follow. And
Hell
so,
yeah.
yeah, hell yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am in this space. I
Uh-huh.
want to be a therapist and help athletes, but also moms and friends and peers in the community to not feel alone because it sucks
It
being in that
does
spot.
suck. And you know what? More of us feel alone than we realize.
Everybody feel alone and nobody
Everybody
knows what they're
does.
doing.
No, they don't. Isn't and you know what? There's a moment when you do have that, hopefully you have that clarity
Yeah,
where you realize that. And I don't know if that's comforting or terrifying as hell.
I find it comforting.
Do you?
I also find it super comforting that like we're all gonna die. So
Same, me
fuck around and
too.
find out.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Well, especially I think since my dad died, I've had this complete
Yeah.
audacity to life. Like that's how
Hmm.
grief has hit me. It's
Yeah.
hit me that way. And then also I just have like my heart has just opened up where I just like
It's too short.
realize it's too short.
Yeah.
And so it's like, um, and in Hebrew, the word for love is ahava.
Hmm.
And the root of the word ahava is hav, which means to give.
Oh,
Because when you love someone, you give.
yeah.
And the best relationships are when you got two givers together, right?
Yeah.
And so, as a giver, the thing you just have to be careful of is that you're in relationships with the right people.
Yeah.
But I think as you become more self aware, you can start to weed that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what another thing that I chatted about on my retreat was givers need to set limits because takers rarely do.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are my people pleasers, my number twos on the Enneagram. Like,
Yeah.
I have a sweet spot in my heart for them because I'm an eight. Go figure. But I really want to help people understand that growling or barking is not the same as biting.
Mm.
So your voice matters. And if you're petting a dog, say that dog has an injury or something, or that you're doing something to piss the dog off. You're petting him and the dog doesn't like that. What's he supposed to do? Just take it? Absolutely not. That
What a
dog
great
can growl.
analogy.
Thank you. My brain is that dog
Superpower.
can growl. That dog can even bark at you. That does
Yeah,
not make that dog a bad dog.
for
It does not make
sure.
that dog evil. It did nothing wrong. If that dog were to turn around and bite you, maybe that's too far. But
Yeah.
you expressing your needs, setting boundaries, and walking away because something's not okay, that does not make you
I
bad.
do want to take a moment to talk about boundaries because I
I
am
love
very
it.
opinionated on boundaries.
You're good at boundaries.
Am I?
I think so.
Okay, thanks. Here's my rule about boundaries.
Hmm.
When you're setting a boundary, don't announce that you're setting a boundary. The
Mm,
word boundary does not need to enter the conversation because to me, that just irks me and it's a little too much.
yeah.
For example, a very simple one. Let's say you have your bedtime routine. You just need a certain wind down in the evening to let
Hmm.
go of whatever happened in your day, good or bad, so that you can get a good rest,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes people just text you whenever. Everyone has different schedules. You don't need to text someone and say, "Hi, my boundary is
Oh, yeah.
it's 9 p.m. and I don't text anyone until the next morning."
Hmm.
I've been through seasons of my life where I've done that, and it's not a good look and it's
Yeah.
not a good vibe. Instead, just don't respond after 9 p.m. or put the do not disturb on your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's ways you create boundaries without having to impose them.
Yeah.
So I think it's an art.
It is an art, and I also think that a tidbit of information is a boundary is something that you do, not something you put on somebody else.
Hmm. Okay, what's an
So there's
example?
agency in that. In your uh I don't text after instead of don't text me, you don't text me, it's I'm setting my own boundary and taking agency over my own decisions
For sure.
to not respond.
Exactly.
So like if you have beef with a family member or something like that, it is not like you don't come to Thanksgiving at mom's house because I'm going. You have to be the one to say, I'm not going, or I'm going to go to Thanksgiving. But if you ever say something about X topic, then I will leave.
Mm-hmm.
That is a boundary versus like if you bring it up, you have to go because that's not in your control. It might get broken.
Right.
It's a whole thing. So that's another
Yeah.
tidbit of information about boundaries that I think is helpful. But yeah, I
Some
could go on about boundaries all day.
it's hard because I think it's such a complicated subject because it's so custom tailored to each person in each situation
For sure.
that there's no like overall do
Correct
this or
answer
X.
format.
And I went on a whole tangent on this with a coworker of mine about boundaries recently. I'm like how people should necessarily say it.
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of times when people go to therapy, they're not necessarily getting healed. They just have a higher vocabulary to express what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
Depending on the therapist, depending on the patient,
Yeah.
it's a two-way street.
1000%.
And so I do feel though that sometimes, depending on the person's upbringing and personality, the pendulum was so much the opposite, where they had no voice and no way to express how they felt, that it almost has to go completely the opposite, where they need to over express, these are my boundaries, this is how I feel, these are my rules. It comes across as super strong, and hopefully they'll find a middle path, but sometimes it has to go
Yeah.
so that they can find something that's in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah, for sure. I get very protective
Or boundaries?
of my people who don't speak up.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, you don't owe that person anything. I could also cut people off. Like
Oh my gosh, same. When's your birthday?
I am August 4th.
Leo?
Leo.
Mm.
Shocker, right? If the hair didn't already sell
Oh,
it.
LOL. I'm an Aries.
Okay.
So I'm very much the same way. I'm like, I told someone recently, I'm like, let the bridges I burn light the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, love it.
It like in high school, I was like, people are mad at me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and you're like, who cares?
Well, I'm also I am woo-woo and I'm into like Kabbalah and all those kinds of
Love.
things. And so concept that is very esoteric is that everything in this world is an illusion.
Mhm.
And everything is just like a reflection of your own energy and what you're putting out into the world.
Yeah.
So even like relationships with people around you, how do you feel about yourself? So going back to that therapy, that yoga, like healing yourself internally and how you show up in the world,
Yeah.
you may get to a point where once you're truly healed in the way you come and show up, you may not even have these conversations because people just are going to show up differently with you because of the energy that you show up with.
1000%.
Life is fast, but every now and then, you deserve a pause, a moment that's just for you. At Le Cafe, we believe that each cup of coffee should taste like a little bit of luxury. Handcrafted and locally roasted here in St. Louis, each of our single origin beans are carefully selected to give you the most unique and smoothest experience. Whether you like a light, medium, or dark roast, we got you. For those busy mornings, or for my coffee lovers who prefer efficiency, we also have K-Cups. So go ahead and pour yourself a cup that tastes like self-care. Visit www.lecafe.us to bring the cafe experience home. Le Cafe, you deserve it.
So do the work.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, let's say, for example, like quality that I'm looking for in a man, self-esteem.
Mm.
A man who feels good about himself, who loves himself.
Mine's security in self.
Yeah. And certainty in who he is and what he wants.
Yeah, don't change to make sure that I like you.
Mm-hmm.
Just be you, dude. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I think ideally, he and I, when we meet, individually are both living our best, fullest lives.
Mhm.
And then we meet and we're compatible,
It's
and
just
being
additive.
together enhances.
Yeah.
Not that we complete each other
Yeah.
or anything like that. It's more of just now that you're here, we 10x each other's lives.
Yeah. And it's like a support system.
Yeah.
It's like, good job.
Yeah.
I'm in your corner.
I mean, I think we can all relate to that. It's like when you meet a new friend
Yeah.
and the energy is just like, oh,
Easy.
hell yeah. Like, where have you been my whole life? Now
Yeah.
this is just going to get better, you know? It's
Mm-hmm.
like the minute that we talked on the phone for the first time and I heard your voice and you're like, are we going to be friends? I'm like, we're already friends. I'm like, we're already friends.
You're like,
This is a
we
thing.
were friends yesterday.
Don't worry about it. And it was so funny because when I went to True Fusion to drop off the coffee for
Yeah.
you, I noticed you walking towards me and I knew who you were immediately.
Really?
Yeah. I was like energetically, I'm
Aw.
like,
Just
"There."
drawn.
Yeah.
Going back to that love money connection really
Yeah.
fast, how you were saying your pattern was what it was. Mine was the lack mindset. And so I
We're
didn't
opposite
realize it.
extremes.
100%.
So funny. I
Which,
was like, we're gonna die
yeah.
tomorrow. Let's just spend all our money. What are we saving for?
And mine's like, I need to be prepared for worst case scenario, like prepare for the future. I'm behind. Mine, that's how my anxiety shows up.
Okay.
It was like a lot of comparison and stuff, and I always feel like I'm behind. And so that's why yoga was so medicinal for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
it grounds you.
it grounds you, and it's like, hey, man,
You're safe in your
you're
space.
safe. What you're thinking about doesn't even exist. Stop
Mm-hmm.
making a prophecy about something that's not even happening. But the lack mindset, I realized like money wise, my behavior with money is it was painful to pay for gas. I was like frustrated with groceries. And so I started doing this thing um, where I was like, oh, I'm so thankful that I have the funds to pay for gas today.
Love
I'm
it.
so thankful that I get to lug in my groceries because I am able bodied and I had the finances to go to the grocery store and to drive a car. Like just switching your perspective so that it was thankful to spend money and to pay for bills and be like, whenever I spend money, it returns tenfold.
Yes.
That affirmation was truly,
Yes.
truly so unlocking. I did do EMDR
Yes.
and that
Okay.
helped a ton. But it was just from like subconscious wiring whenever I was a kid, watching parents or whatever, however they operated. And money was very
100%.
taboo. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
No one taught me. I just had to figure it out on my own.
Did you come from a financially challenged background
We were
or?
like lower middle class,
Okay.
but money was, there was a lot of ego and like status and
So kind of living beyond your means, but then being stressed about it.
pieces. And like, it was just, we didn't talk about it.
Mm.
And there was some other things that
Okay.
added to that story.
Sure.
But I didn't realize the love money connection until a few years ago. And so if I'm thinking like it's not going to come back, there's not enough, it showed up in my dating life. I was like, there's no men. It's slim pickings. No
Yes.
one's going to match what I need. Everyone
Mm.
is emotionally unintelligent. Like, it
This is
doesn't
so
exist.
interesting.
I know. And then I had to work through that. And it's like, no, the love that I have exists because
Yes.
I am that love. And
Mhm.
I'm not too much. My job doesn't put me into a niche. I'm not too intimidating. Good Lord.
Oh,
I had to really work on that one.
same girl.
I'm like, every time I go out, I feel like everyone's afraid of me.
Mm.
We've gotten over all of that.
And you know what's wild? Talking for a moment about that intimidation, because I went through a season where I
She
read
said, hmm.
where I went through like all these articles on like how to be less intimidating to men, how to be magnetic, how to be more approachable.
Yeah.
And like when I let go of like what men were thinking and how they perceived me and just like felt comfortable in my own body and just
Yeah.
felt like more charming and I'm a delight and all these
Yeah.
things. I'm not really concerned how I come across. And I realized it wasn't that I was intimidating to men. It's just I was so overthinking. My body language, my energy was so
Yeah.
that nobody wanted to approach me.
Yeah. Teach yourself.
Yeah. And it's been a journey because it's like, it's not just logically knowing what to do, it's emotionally. There's a lot of emotions with finances,
Oh, yeah.
and that's not talked about enough
There's a lot of self-worth with finances.
for sure. And so, interesting enough, with like my business, for
I was
example,
gonna say, going from that to now starting your
yeah.
own business is crazy
It's
impressive.
it's crazy, and I think the hardest thing for me was, like, the hustle part of Lake Cafe, where it was only affecting me, and I was living off of a barista salary because 'cause I'm learning from the ground up,
Mhm.
was fun. It was part of that struggle, like, starting from nothing, starting from scratch, like, doing the grind. It's not sustainable forever, but it's, like, that self-worth of
Yeah.
building something felt really great. Yeah. Then now I'm at that point where I have to borrow money from investors. I have to borrow money for the small business loan.
Nightmare.
And coming from that background from being a child of seeing my parents not be able
Yeah.
to pay back those money, all those fears come up and it created this block in me where it stalled like cafe from growing. So I had to work through those blocks because I had to change the story and the perspective
Yeah.
where it's not, first of all, it's different with business. You have to borrow money with business at a
Yep.
certain point. So that's just part
You're
of the
just up
game.
leveling.
But I had to change my mindset around it so that I could open those doors and receive.
Hmm.
And I realized that instead of looking at it from the perspective of, oh, this is getting real, I have all these people on this team who are going to need to borrow money and like I'm going to owe them money. And I hate owing money to people. I would
Yeah.
rather starve than owe anyone money.
Yeah.
And this isn't something I can just pay back in a month. Like
No.
this is going to be years.
Hefty.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, to change the dialogue in my head to why am I doing this? I'm doing this to create community, to create connections, to give people opportunities.
Hmm.
I am giving my landlords, my contractors, my interior designers, my future employees, all these people opportunities
Beautiful.
to be part of this community, to grow their career.
Hmm.
And we're all a team together.
Yeah.
And so when I changed that, a lot started to unlock for me.
And I feel like at the root of it, I know we kind of chatted about this, but that's like, do you trust yourself to
Yeah.
be good on your word,
And that's part
to
of my
pay it back?
integrity,
It's your
right?
integrity.
And it's hard because it's like if it's $20, sure, heck yeah, I could
Right
hold the
here. Here's
integrity.
25.
Yeah, exactly. I'm over generous, but it's like when it's that kind of money, it's like, and it's your first
Intimidating.
time doing business, it's like I will work until I'm good on my word.
Right.
But yeah, it's a leap of faith.
I am very excited for you because that is, as a business owner, that's your next level
Hmm.
to grow.
And so I
If you're
think,
scared, you're doing something right.
oh, I'm terrified all the time.
I
I've become
love
so
that.
much more religious recently.
I love
I've
it.
reconnected to my faith because
That's
I'm
exciting.
like, they say there's no atheist in a foxhole. I don't know how entrepreneurs can't have some sort of faith, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's just spirituality, like believing in a higher power. Like, I just don't know how.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much that's out of your control. So there's so many times when things happen and I'm like, it's okay, God, you got this. I'm not going to
Definitely
lose
have to be
sleep out of it.
grounded.
Yeah.
You have to be grounded to
And
handle
just
it all.
trust and trust in yourself,
Yeah.
trust in a higher power, trust in the right
Yeah.
people are going to enter your life,
Mm-hmm.
just believe in the good. So I'm really into recently, I've been lucky girl syndrome.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, of course it's real. I always just
Energy.
say good things are always happening to me. And I heard, I think it was Mel Robbins who actually said this recently that when you're going through hard things,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she was the one who said this line, but I heard it on TikTok and I thought it was brilliant. You know, a flow state. when you're in alignment and everything's just working out well for you, the right
Are you
opportunities,
gonna
the
talk
right
about
people.
floss state? I love floss state.
Best.
When you start messing up and then you just everything starts fumbling.
And physically, we all know that moment where
Oh
it's like
yeah.
I had that this morning. I was putting in my contact and I'm like, what the heck is going on? The thing would not stick in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in a floss state.
Yeah.
And you have to
So then what'd you do?
well, back to the practice.
Yep.
Whenever you want to be more charismatic, whenever you want to be more in flow, you need to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to speed up, that's when you get more in flow. So I
Yep.
was like, breathe. And then I was like, good things are always happening to me. This is what I start telling myself when I'm in flow state.
Yeah.
And that just helps me kind of slow down and be like, get out of that spiral.
Yeah. I take it as a sign to go play.
Oh, I love you speak my language because I love the word play.
Play.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to
Especially,
play.
yeah, yeah.
We all need to play more. The other day, I keep seeing this video that when you're an adult, you forget how to skip.
I love skipping, but I
So
do.
sometimes on my runs, I'll just start skipping
That's so fun.
because I'm like, I gotta make sure I can still do
And
it.
how joyful do you feel?
So joyful. It sounds so silly, but it's real.
No, it's so real. It's like, when you have that joy where it almost like bubbles up from inside you
Oh
because you're
yeah.
just so happy.
I try to do stuff like that all the time that like makes me uncomfortable because that's how I
Mm,
ego check myself.
yeah,
Ego's your friend. It wants best for you. It's
for
there to
sure.
protect and keep you going. Okay, so it's not your enemy, but it is maybe your frenemy, we'll say. Like it's your friend. It's looking out for you, but sometimes it overstays its visit and does a little bit too much, like overprotective.
Okay.
Because it can hold you back from fear of judgment, from being insecure, all those types of deals. So sometimes on my runs, this is so cheesy and embarrassing to say, but again, I'm uncomfortable, so it's probably good for me, right?
Yeah.
I'll like stick my arms out whenever a song hits and just like
Hell
let the sun
yeah.
hit me. And I'm like, if anybody saw me right now, they'd be like, who is this crazy lady running with her arms spread wide? But if I'm listening to Hans Zimmer and that beat hits, oh, I'm sticking
Okay.
my arms out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run and look like a fool. And that dopamine hit that I get from it and that ego check is so worth it.
No one's looking at you like that.
No, no one's looking at you. Plot twist, no one is looking at you
Mm-hmm.
because everyone is busy looking at themselves.
Plot twists. Sometimes they are looking at you and they're inspired.
And sometimes they're looking at you and they're judging you and nothing happens.
And it's still okay.
And it's really okay.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, it all matters how you feel.
Exactly.
Because regardless how other people feel, you're going to live your life.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the trash always takes itself out. It's one of my favorite lines. I think so.
You know?
There was my grandfather's rabbi said this quote, which I love. In this world, there are no answers.
Yeah, we're
And
not
in the
supposed to have all
next
the
world,
answers.
there is no questions.
I love that.
So until we're in the next world,
Yeah.
we won't know.
Yeah, I love that.
Hmm.
I always have also really liked the C.S. Lewis quote where it's like the fact that our heart yearns for something more shows us that Earth is not our home.
Oh, chills.
I know. I've had that on my wall since I was like 12.
I also love the word yearn.
Uh-huh. It's like the unfulfillment, the desire. Bring back men who yearn.
I was
Yeah.
literally just, and I'm like, I'm a man who yearns for me.
So the love money connection.
Money to yearn for me, and I want men to yearn for me. Just come to me. And you know how that's going to happen? By being a magnet. And that comes from self love and self trust. Full circle.
Yeah.
I'm just such a believer in like words. I went on a whole
I love
rampage.
words.
Oh,
I like giving words, hate receiving words.
interesting.
Hate it.
Well,
Makes me
here's
so violently uncomfortable. I have a
well
visceral reaction.
from a psychology perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I
Mhm.
have like a visceral reaction to the word trauma.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because talking about victim mindset,
Yeah.
I don't like the word trauma because I think every person's idea of trauma is different.
Yep.
And so when I hear the word trauma, that sounds like, oh my God, like what
Yeah.
happened to you? And like some people, you hear their trauma and you're like, I don't really know. I'm so sorry.
Do you want to know the definition of it?
I would love that. Yes.
So in The Body Keeps the Score,
Yes.
it's actually defined as trauma. So there's big T trauma and then there's little T trauma.
Ooh.
Little T trauma is essentially like you could get laughed at for, dropping your book at school and pointing. That's little T trauma. It's anything where you go into fight or flight mode and you don't know how to respond
In the moment.
in the moment. So when your body, your system goes into hyper overdrive and you shut down, it's the lack of ability to respond in a moment that literally makes a pathway in your brain, those grooves in your brain. A, a groove is made and it's like dangerous. We didn't know how to act. That's going to be a core memory for us.
Whoa.
So literally, it's like little t trauma. Could be
Okay.
something so little. And it could not even be like traumatic necessarily, how
But it
you're
was traumatic
defining
to
it, but it
you.
was traumatic to you. So maybe it's a parent
Mm.
not going to your soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
That could be like a traumatic event of like, oh, my parent didn't pick me up from soccer practice.
Mm.
I was left alone. And so it's how you internalize that experience.
That's beautiful.
Uh-huh. It's beautiful, but it's also like as a parent,
It's a big
you really can't
responsibility.
do anything right. You can. I'm
I've
being an
heard parents say that no
overgeneralization.
matter what, you're gonna fuck up your
You're gonna
kids.
fuck up your kid. And it's not your fault
No.
because it's up to two people and perception.
It's also a lot of parents, I think as we get older, we realize it's their first time being a parent too.
100%.
And it's easy to look at your parents and be like, well, when I'm a parent,
Exactly. But
and
then you're gonna
then,
do something else by overcompensating for what your parents
or you'll
did,
do the same thing,
or you do the exact same thing.
or you'll do something
But
else.
it's how we internalize it. So it's like what
Yeah.
your brain, the story that you come up with in that time
Creates the
might
trauma.
not even be true.
For sure, perception is huge.
Perception.
So here's my thought, and this is why I think on a personal level, I don't look at anything in my life, and I learned this from my mom because she's the strongest, most positive human I've ever met.
No, that's lovely.
And she's been through some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Love you, mom. She's gonna hate me for saying that. But she's so positive. She's like you in that sense where like you would look at her and like not realize,
Yeah.
because she doesn't carry it. And that's such a beautiful quality to have. And that's so much, like she truly doesn't carry it. Physically, I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Is it internalized? Not at
No.
all. She's worked through that. That's
She's
so
I don't know if
lovely.
she's even worked through it. I think my mom is just such a faith-based person.
Oh.
And she's so positive that she's like, I don't want to carry that, so I won't.
Oh, let's hang out with your mom. I'm
Literally.
trying to hang out with your mom.
Can I tell you,
She sounds like my people.
when people hang out with my mom, they stop hanging out with me.
Oh,
Because my mom's just like the best.
that's so cute.
So it's like with my mom though, I remember when I was like I was a shitty little kid, and I was just like trying to explain to her all the trauma in her
Hmm.
life and why she should be sad. And she's like, no, just no. And so I learned that quality from her.
Yeah.
And so for me, I still may hold on to it somatically, if you will, unlike her, but I'm very big on words. So I don't like to look at any experience that I've been through and be like, oh, that was trauma. Even like, let's say with my dad more recently, him going
Hmm.
through dementia, him dying when I was 29. I wouldn't say that's trauma. I would say that was challenge.
I like that.
And challenge is something I can overcome, big
Yes.
or small. Trauma to me sounds traumatic. It's a
Yeah.
big thing. It's a big thing to overcome. It's not
Hmm.
impossible. But when you use the word challenge to describe your circumstances,
It's an obstacle rather than a roadblock.
and
Like,
we all have
yeah.
been through
Mm.
challenges.
Yeah. 100%.
And challenge also makes people not just like, whoa, when you tell them about your story.
Yeah. Well, and over identifying with trauma
That's the
is a
other thing.
dangerous game
Right. It's
because
like
you're labeling yourself.
I had a friend the other day and we were talking and he was wondering if he was going through depression right at that moment in his life. And I'm like, listen, I'm not a professional, so I can't tell you if you are or you aren't.
Hmm.
But my uncle is a professional, and we had a whole talk about it, and he described it beautifully, where he was like, imagine like this sky, and then depression is a cloud,
Yeah.
where
It's a
it's like it
piece.
it comes through, but
Hmm.
it's not who you are.
Correct.
And I was like, also, you're going through a lot in your life right now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of heavy energy, and a lot of what you're going through, actually, all of it is not within your control.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I heard this girl on TikTok. Her mom was like, she was feeling depressed.
Hmm.
Her mom was like, have you gone outside? Have you felt the sun on your face?
Yeah.
Have you had water? Have you
Hmm.
exercised?
All the things that go into it.
Have you eaten healthy? Have you gotten enough sleep? Try that.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how depressed you are.
Yeah, exactly. Over identifying with a diagnosis is a very dangerous game in modern society for sure.
Mm.
It's like, I have depression, or yeah, I am Sydney, and sometimes I have
You
depressive
experience it.
seasons.
Yeah. I'm
That's what you're saying, like
right.
language is everything.
So you could say, I'm feeling
Hmm.
depressed,
Yeah.
but you don't say, I am.
Yeah.
depressed.
We also, as humans, just our brains are like Velcro to negative feedback.
Mm,
It's a survival instinct that we learned from forever ago, but we over attach to it, I guess is the best way to say it,
yeah.
because we believe that there's an impending threat. So I always tell people change your but to an and. And so whenever I'm working with my athletes, especially, say a goalkeeper or something, it's like, I had a terrible game. Yeah, I saved those shots, but I let two in. And it's no, no, no. Change your but to an and. Yeah, I saved 7 goals and I let two in. So that like completely the but negates all the good.
Mm,
The and lets it all exist together. And that's something where like focusing on the negative and having that perspective again, that mindset
right.
shift is critical. You're talking about language. It's one word that we're
And it's also
substituting.
important to still, everything's feedback, everything's information, right?
Yeah.
So, like going back to love,
Hmm.
right? And dating, if someone rejects you, that's information.
Yeah.
That's not the end all be all.
And it doesn't define your self-worth.
It doesn't define your self-worth, but at the same time, I think it also is good to have a moment of evaluation of what role did I play in that,
Yeah.
because it takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm. I
So
love it.
it's like, if they weren't your person, that's fine. But it's like, what role did you play in it ending? How
Yeah.
can you show it better for next time?
Without beating yourself down.
Correct.
The only way we heal is with self-compassion.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling guilty or anything, I challenge you, go ask people. Ask people questions about their biggest failures, their biggest mistakes, their worst relationship. Ask people that you admire, even or look up to,
Mm-hmm.
because those people all have stories too. The people that we put on a pedestal or think are so successful are the ones who have messed up the most, but still get up and keep going,
For
whether that's in
sure.
love, business, school,
Resilience.
resilience. It is. The ones at the top aren't the ones who are perfect, they're the ones who won't give up.
Yeah.
So go ask people about their mess ups.
Yeah.
It is so freeing to be like, oh, we've all been dumbasses. We've all made mistakes. And that's okay.
What's fascinating to me is when I've gone to couples who I look up to,
Hmm.
like who I would aspire to have a relationship like they do, they all have said the same thing about a quality about the relationship, which is they're like, it's just easy.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is everyone else is like, oh, relationships aren't easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mm, I think maybe you're just not in alignment with your partner.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean it can't be a good relationship. Every relationship's different, depends on who you are, what you want out of it.
For sure.
But I think when you find someone who's aligned with your values and your perspective of the world,
Which is why it's important to have your pillars.
yeah, you have to know who you are.
You have to know who you are and
Right.
start there.
Right. Which, to all the ladies out there who haven't found love very young,
Yeah.
it's not a good thing because
No.
you have an opportunity to work on those pillars and figure out who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think sometimes people get married to wonderful people and have children and they are so grateful for their husbands and their children, but they haven't had time to create their own identity.
No, they created the identity through having the family piece, which is totally fine. That is for some people.
No, but sometimes they want the other part too, and then it becomes a little bit more challenging at that point
Yup.
to
Yeah.
find yourself.
100%. I think that our parents' generation, like, I can't imagine having 3 children at my age right now.
Well, in my culture, it's still very prevalent,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing. I think everyone's journey is different. Like, I think if you are
Yeah.
supposed to get married now, you find your person at a young age,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's more about like back to our earlier conversation, I feel very grateful that my life unfolded the way that it did.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, I have so much respect for anybody with kiddos.
Oh
So much
yeah.
respect.
Being a mother is no joke.
No joke. I have so much empathy for my mamas who are clients. I love
Mm-hmm.
them with my whole heart.
Right, because your ideal client is women, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mhm. I love it. I love, love, love. I want everybody to love themselves the way that I see them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a It's a tall order, though.
I know. That's my issue is I'm like a saver. I need to save people
I
and
think that's
fix.
something that I've kind of come to realize because through entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
as you evolve and have that resilience and keep pushing forward, you start to notice as you, I hate to use the word pass or surpass others, but as you start to surpass them in terms of like growth and whatever milestone that is, you realize the excuses that people start to say. And
Yeah.
like when you're starting from ground zero, you hear them and you look at them as an expert because they've been doing it longer, let's say, right? And so you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But then for some reason with your resilience, you're like, well, let's just try.
Yeah.
And then somehow you pass them and whatever that milestone marker means, right? And then you're like, oh, so that was your limitation. That wasn't a limitation.
Yeah.
And so then people come to you when they start to see you start to have any sort of mini success, especially on social media, because everything looks successful on social media.
Social media is so fake. Don't believe anything. Just kidding.
But at the same time, it's great for business.
It's so great for business.
I've had events with like Cafe where I made $4 and I made $400. It's
Yeah.
gone, you just can't predict it. And
Yeah.
like, but no matter what, I'm getting a reel.
Yeah.
And so at those reels, that's what's made it look like,
That's how you
oh,
get your vision out. That's
yeah,
how
like
people
I'm
see
out
you.
there. I'm so, and it's like, yeah, I'm out there. Sometimes it's successful,
But it is
sometimes it's
not
not.
all rainbows and
It's
butterflies.
not. And even the best events sometimes can still be super draining or maybe didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out, you
Yeah.
know. But thank God for social media and highlight reels
Mm-hmm.
because at the same time, I've had moments as an entrepreneur where it's like, especially at night, where you're starting to question yourself.
Oh yeah.
I love going back on my own social media and being a fan of myself. And
That's
I'll
cute.
like watch from the beginning my reels sometimes
Hmm.
from when I first started posting. And I'm like, well, goddamn,
We've
I've
come so
grown.
far.
And I really put myself out there, and I'm getting ready to do taxes on my cafe for the second year. And I'm like looking at my numbers from the first year till now. And I'm like,
That's rewarding.
it's like, I felt like nothing was happening, but wow.
I love that.
And that was and it's still small, mind
Yeah.
you, but there's growth.
There's growth.
And that growth is so empowering. And I think that I was going to say earlier when people come to me because people it's interesting because I still don't I've grown, but I still don't feel like I'm in a place yet where I can be like a coach to people per se, but people have been coming to me as wanting to be their coach or wanting to like ask me questions, how to get started and do all these things. And I give them my advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I hear a lot of times are excuses or why they can't do certain things. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You got to fix whatever is going on up here first and
Yeah.
just do it.
It is. What's your limiting belief? What's the
Mm.
false narratives that are holding you back? Go through the file cabinet and shred what no longer serves.
You just have to have certainty. I've noticed when I have certainty beyond logic, where it's like
Beyond logic. Key part right there.
beyond logic, I'll just be like, I'm just, it goes back to my Kabbalah thing, like where he says that if you have a desire for something, the fulfillment comes before the desire. You would never have a desire for something that wasn't meant for you.
I like that.
And so if you have that desire, that's your reality.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing stopping what's in your mind from being a reality is your limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to work on.
Yep. Yep.
You listen to Tony Robbins, you listen to Lewis Howes, you listen to any of the greats, they all say certainty.
Yeah.
That is the key thing. And
Yeah.
certainty, I heard someone say this recently. Who was it? Confidence isn't something that you find, confidence is something you acquire.
I just posted that.
That was you?
I said confidence is not built, or confidence is not bestowed on people, it's built.
Okay.
Like I think clarity comes through action,
Yeah.
confidence comes through experience. I used to be terrified to stand in front of a room full of 10 people and teach a yoga class. And now I'm in front of 60 people with no plan and I'm just vibing and we're just chilling
Yeah.
and I mess up and it's great and nobody cares or notices and you
Yep.
just grow through it.
And have you noticed that if you are open about your mistakes, people are
People
just,
like you more.
yeah.
You're human.
Mm-hmm.
You just laugh it off.
I have this tradition
Mhm.
at the end of every podcast episode. This whole podcast is based on this Hebrew quote, which is Eza Chacham Halomed Mikol Adam, which
Beautiful.
means one who is wise is one who
Mm.
learns from everyone. We have learned so much from you, but we barely scratched the surface. So if you can leave us with one last favorite life lesson or quote, what would it be?
Hmm. I guess starting with the end in mind, like thinking about your legacy is so, so important to me. And so, something that I really like to tell people is like, how do you want to be remembered? We've been making death jokes all day. And it's like, if your eulogy was written tomorrow, like, what would your people say about you? And are you satisfied with that? And if not, don't beat yourself up about it. Or again, drawing back to that grace and that self compassion, but start to create your core foundation, your authentic code, and decide if it's in alignment with what's important to you and how you want to be remembered. And then you can start moving accordingly and acting accordingly. So, yeah.
Do you know the song by Rascal Flatts?
Anything by Rascal Flatts, I'm there.
The name of the
Life is a
song,
highway?
that one's a good one too. Gotta start every drive, right? No, I think it was Rascal Flatts. They said it was How They Remember You.
Yeah.
That's such a good song. That's exactly what was playing in
Yeah.
my head while you were saying that.
I think about it all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, what would people say about me right now?
So I had ChatGPT write my eulogy.
I love that for you.
After my dad died, like 3 days after, I'm like, write my eulogy.
Yeah.
And, Gigi and I have been talking for 2 years now. So my girl knows me. And it
I
was
love that.
spot on. It felt really nice.
Aw.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah. This has been
That's,
really beautiful.
yeah, it's a good one.
So, how can my audience support you? What's the best way?
Follow my Instagram page, Unfiltered Growth with Sid. I am going to be starting a community give back opportunity. And
Mm,
so my goal is to partner with nonprofits, organizations, and businesses this whole year.
love
It
that.
is a monthly series. That's like what we're going for. We just did one with Redeeming Love, which is a nonprofit built to rebuild North St. Louis after the tornadoes. And
Mm.
so that was so much fun. I did a yoga class. We did bouquets and like mocktails.
Wait, can we pause for a moment?
Yeah.
Can we do a little business right now?
Okay.
Because Lake Cafe, part of being Jewish is that I tithe. And
Yeah.
so with Lake Cafe, one of my pillars
Yes.
is community, and I do sip with purpose,
Yep.
which means that I give back 10% of my profit every month.
I love
So
you.
I would love to connect with you
Yes.
and because what did you call your program that you do monthly, or do you have a name for
I
it?
just started it. It's the Give Back Community Series.
Okay,
And
let's
so
let's collab.
I would love
And
that.
so every month, 10% of what we make will give back to you. And
Aw.
we can
We can
we
do
can we can
something.
partner on different local
Yes.
things that we're giving back to because
I
I
love that.
think when we based on your community plus my community, we can make even more
Mhm.
of a difference if we partner
That's my
together.
goal. It's like, how can
Freaking rule.
women rock
Oh,
and believing that your skills matter. Like
they
I
do
grew
matter.
up not believing that my skills mattered. I had everyone in my family is an engineer, a doctor, a CEO, a
Oh,
sales
wow.
director. Yeah. And I kicked a ball. Like I played soccer at slow. And so I grew up believing that my skills didn't matter. And now I'm like, my skills freaking matter and
Yeah,
I
they
can make
do.
the world better
Yeah,
by teaching yoga, Pilates, bringing together community, being a people
absolutely.
person. And so, yeah, yesterday just filled my whole bucket. It was a
And yeah.
Galentine's thing. So
Because I
I
want
want
to
to
give
do,
back to these different organizations too.
yes,
So, like, part of what my goal is to give them like a bag of coffee as well
cute.
to each organization. Just a way to spread the love, get some
Yeah,
like documentation of it as well,
I
and
love
just
that.
spread the love.
And it's
Also,
authentic, like marketing. It doesn't
100%.
feel salesy. I hate
No.
selling myself.
So I will
Ugh.
tell you something that I'm doing as well. I'm very excited. I'm not going to announce the charity yet because we haven't. There's two charities that I'm working with currently.
Okay.
I want to expand the Lake Cafe coffee family in terms of introducing more roasts
Okay.
because I have two different roasters that I'm working with right now, and I'm absolutely obsessed with like discovering more beans and just sharing more coffee options.
Yeah.
Because right now I have my little family, my light, medium, and dark roast, but there's
Yeah.
so much more out there.
Yeah.
And so I I think I'm also going to do like a coffee of the month, but the coffee of the month could potentially be the sip with purpose of the month. And
Yes.
so here's what I want to start doing to also help people learn more about the charities. I want to partner with the charities for them to cup the different beans with me and find their tasting profiles of what tastes good, right?
Love.
And then what we'll do is we'll put dual branding of their logo and my logo on the coffee bag
Genius.
and then a QR code. So when people scan that,
Oh.
it goes back to their website so people can learn more about them. And 10% of that particular roast
Yeah.
will go back to that charity every single month as well.
I love that so much.
So There's a lot more.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, one of them I will say I'm very excited about because I donated to them a few months ago. It's called Less Leg, More Heart,
Okay.
and it is for amputees, and they help them get prosthetic legs at
Oh,
a much cheaper rate because it could be
it's so
thousands of
expensive.
dollars. And not only that, they teach them how to be athletic. They teach them how to
Oh,
like get back out there.
that's
So
beautiful.
literally the name of the rose will be Less Leg, More Heart.
I like that a lot.
Hmm.
So for us and like how I can feel like supported moving forward is I would love to have nonprofit organizations, businesses, people who are hiring or founded by, marginalized communities, those who are going through challenging times right now, like refugee owned businesses. I
Hmm.
also really want to work with emotional support dogs and help the funding for that. I really care about the Humane Society, Care Rescue,
Yeah.
STL. And so, like just helping with adoptions or funding for more, like the dogs who help with seizures and stuff. I want
Yeah.
to help with funding for that. And yeah, just giving back single moms. I know we chatted about that before this. I think single moms in marginalized communities would be beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Because you're a coffee girl, right?
I love coffee
So
and I love people.
what we can do is like we can try to do a coffee of the month that's for that.
That's beautiful.
And then
We can host events, especially with the weather changing up.
absolutely.
I really, really, really want to get into the history museum and big venues to host
Yes.
like 200 people where all ticket proceeds
Hmm.
go towards nonprofits and
For
organizations and
sure.
businesses that align with causes that I
Yeah,
care
and
about.
we'll navigate Saturdays because Saturdays I can't be there in person,
Yeah.
but I can always like drop off K-cups or cold
Yeah.
brew or we'll figure it out.
That sounds wonderful.
But for sure. And now my schedule is going to open up for events as well
Hmm.
because I'm going to start doing, I'm getting the same way you would have a private chef.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a private barista.
So fun.
That's how I'm marketing it. So I'm going to be doing bigger events as well.
That's so fun.
Hmm.
Let's make this happen and call to action for those companies, businesses, and nonprofits. Reach
Yeah.
out to us. Let's collaborate and help make the world a better place.
Yeah. And even if you're not part of a big business, if you have a charity that's close to your heart,
Yeah.
especially if it's local to St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
DM me at Drew from the Lou or at thelakecafe.us or
Yep.
Sydney at Unfiltered Growth.
Yep.
And we're going to make it happen because we are executors.
We are executors.
Yeah, we are.
I
This
love
is so
it.
great. Okay, well, thanks so much for coming on. I can't wait for next time.
I know. We're fueled by passion. Literally. Literally.
Just fire signs over
I
here.
know.
This is
Thank
so
you so
great.
much for having me. This was a joy. I
This was
appreciate it.
awesome.
And I'm excited
Wow.
to get to know your community a little bit better too.
In Paris.
And Paris. You're going to learn so much.
Well, guys, this has been another great episode. Thank you so much for listening or watching. If you are not currently watching the episode, the video is available on Spotify or YouTube. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube community right now. So if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Please go subscribe and share this episode with a friend. I hope you guys have a great week. Let's get it. Let's go.